And now Margaret Howell from Right Side Broadcasting is going to speak.
Well, thank you for having me. I see so many faces in here that have been part of a movement, and it's an honor to be in this group and on the stage talking to you. Our right to speak out, the right to be free and have a free press. I started in this business about something that's so important to me, which is liberty. In 2013, I began working for RT News, and later went to Moscow, Russia, and worked for RT International. I was on the ground there a lot, covering everything from suicide bombings to EU overstuff, you name it. And I was watching a program called Alex Jones, and he was the only one accurately reporting on a suicide bombing that I was reporting on at the same time. And I contacted Alex and said, "Can I work for you?" Several months later. Joined with Alex right at the start of the 2016 election, where we were able to hammer Hillary Clinton day in and day out, and like many of you, helped usher in a Trump victory. I now head up Right Side Broadcasting here in Washington, D.C., and the censorship that I have seen happen to us over the past year is nothing like I've ever witnessed before the past 6 years of doing this kind of work. As many of you know, our RSBN, as we call it, was born out of frustration. We were covering then candidate Trump and his rallies, and the frustration was that mainstream media, they just weren't panning the crowd. They weren't showing an accurate crowd size. When they were reporting on it, they were taking snippets of what candidate Trump was saying, and they were twisting it, contorting it. And Joe Steels, who founded Right Side, whom I was introduced to because he was a guest on InfoWars, I'm so impressed with what he was doing. He was attending these rallies and showing the crowd size, giving his speech in length, a full speech, which wasn't being done before. If you can believe it, they were taking snippets to contort what the president was saying, candidate was saying at the time. Joe wanted us to be able to see a full context and be able to judge for ourselves, taking the mainstream media and the fake narrative out of it. RSBN then began simulcasting along with President Trump's rallies to his campaign Facebook page, live streaming, in addition to the campaign's Facebook page, our own YouTube channel, and eventually reaching over 300 million in an audience and really taking part in the Trump victory. An example of that, RSBN was working with President Trump, the campaign, during the 2016 election cycle and that famous Las Vegas debate that took place. We were able to live stream that, giving pre-shows and post-shows on the campaign's Facebook page, and that night raised alone, I believe, $10 million for his campaign. We began getting a lot of national media attention. RSBN did at that time. The Washington Post labeled us as Trump TV, and several publications began doing profiles on us that were very, very, how should I say, it's not nice. Media Matters in particular was one of them, who called us, they did a playbook, and they called it Media Outlets Poised to Become Trump's Personal Propaganda Machine. Now, they had clearly orchestrated a hit against this little YouTube channel that you would think wouldn't have threatened them at all, or anyone for that matter. Now, this led, we believe, to social media sites, our social media sites being censored, and we weren't sure, and Joe and I were talking about this, my boss, earlier, if some people at Facebook and YouTube just happen to read Media Matters, or if somebody at Media Matters is in cahoots. We weren't really sure if it was the chicken or the egg which came first, but regardless, they started censoring us. And we took the time to write down just a couple of examples about how we've been hit, and in the hardest way. So Facebook, they removed several of our live videos, even White House press briefings, which you would think would be innocuous. They don't have a political message to them. They're simply a White House press briefing that we cover, and saying that the video violated their terms of service. So they would remove an actual White House press briefing that we would be live streaming. No additional explanation was given by Facebook, and this happened at least 20 times that I've counted, not just on White House press briefings, but all kinds of videos, absolutely nonpartisan news that we would be covering. They would censor us. YouTube, censoring us in the search results. So we found that we have almost 300,000 subscribers. We are a growing channel, and A lot of our money was coming from YouTube prior to what's happening to us now. We've lost over 95% of our ad revenue. Even though we have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, we're getting search placements in YouTube that are way down the list. We're seeing channels that don't have nearly the subscriber base that we have. They're getting views that are tens and thousands more than ours are for the exact same content. We're clearly being censored in the search results. The end result in many times of our coverage is that we receive, just a tiny fraction of what we know is watching. Also, our videos have been marked, and I want to make sure I get this right, quote, not suitable for most advertisers on YouTube, meaning that we can't make any ad revenue from the video streaming that we're doing. So basically, any video with the word Trump in it that we put up, even though we correctly tag it, we correctly label it, we correctly title it, they've taken away our ability to have any sort of ad revenue. And this little nugget, which is probably my favorite that they're doing to us, it's unbelievable, but it's absolutely true. YouTube is censoring our actual broadcast and live. They're putting a black screen for several seconds so that our viewers will actually leave. They think that our content has stopped, or they think that there's something wrong with the stream. We've reached out to YouTube, and they simply say that we're having technical difficulties. It's the only information that they've given us regarding what's happening. The screen will go black. It happens every time we break news, it happens with Trump rallies that we cover live. And of course, Trump's speeches, they love to do those for about 30 seconds with a black screen and simply their logo. This has caused many of our viewers to leave our stream in droves. We've absolutely decimating our channel. And then of course we have Google. Google has removed our ability for us to place AdSense advertisements on our own website, which is amazing if you think about it. 10% of our monthly revenue will come from Google Ads. And we've appealed to Google, we've been denied. No explanation is ever given. So we haven't gotten an explanation from Facebook, YouTube, or Google. And because of this censorship, like I said before, 95% of our revenue, of our income, has been totally wiped out. So from 2016, when we were thriving, absolutely thriving, and able to live stream for an incredibly popular president, we're now seeing ourselves, in a sense, shadow banned, wiped, and no explanation, of course, has been given. So we're struggling to stay alive. We're hoping that we can address this, and if we can't circumvent it, at least make enough people aware of what's happening to us so that our channel stays in existence and we can continue covering President Trump in real time, exactly what he's saying, all of what he's saying, showing who's showing up in a room. And I can't tell you how many rallies we've covered where thousands of people are wrapped around blocks for hours just waiting to get a glimpse of what was candidate Trump and now President Trump. It's an honor to cover it and to not only display movement, but to display the real sentiment of American people. I'm very simple myself. I come from Kentucky. We value our First Amendment and our Second Amendment, I can tell you, with unbelievable fortitude. It's an honor to do this, and it's really concerning to me as a reporter who loves liberty, who loves freedom, to see this happening to us in 2018 now, and we're hoping that this panel sheds some light on it, and we want Congress to address this. So that's what we're doing here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.